Hey, Ethan, you sure she's gonna say yes? Ryan asked, leaning over the bar counter as I showed him the ring box. She better, I laughed, flipping the lid open. I maxed out my card for this thing, Ryan whistled. Dude, that's gorgeous. She'll cry. She'll probably say I'm being dramatic, I said. But yeah. I hope she cries, he grinned. You're a dead man after this. Welcome to the club, I smirked, pocketing the ring. You're not even married. Still. I've seen enough of my friends fall, he said, raising his beer. To your downfall, we clinked glasses. I didn't notice then how different that word, downfall, would sound later. When I got home, Emily was on the couch, scrolling through her phone. You're late again, she said without looking up. Had to meet Ryan. Work's been crazy. Work's always crazy. She sighed, eyes still on her screen. I sat beside her trying to peek. She tilted the phone away. Who are you texting? I asked, half joking. Just Becca, she said. She's helping me with the wedding plans. Relax. I'm relaxed. I wasn't. She finally looked up, smiling faintly. You look exhausted. Yeah, I said. But it's worth it. I can't wait to marry you. Her smile softened. I can't wait either. That night I lay in bed watching her sleep, thinking about how peaceful she looked. I told myself that was what love was supposed to feel like. Calm, safe. I had no idea calm could also mean ignorance. The next morning, Lily called. Did you tell her yet? She asked, sounding like she'd been waiting all week. Not yet. Tonight, after dinner. Finally, she said. She's gonna freak out. Ethan, you deserve this. She's good for you. Yeah, I said quietly. She is. When I picked Emily up that evening, she wore that blue dress that always made my heart stop. You look... Wow, I said. Trying to impress the groom-to-be, she teased. At dinner, I could barely taste the food. My hands were sweating. Halfway through dessert, I stood up and said, I need to ask you something. Her eyes widened. Ethan, what's going on? I dropped to one knee. Emily Carter, will you marry me? She gasped, hands over her mouth. Oh my God, yes! The restaurant clapped. She kissed me like it was the only thing that existed. For a moment, it felt perfect. When I called Lily later, she screamed through the phone. She said, yes. I told you. Even Ryan texted, told you she'd cry, man. Proud of you. For a week, I lived in that glow. We took engagement photos, called family, planned dates. I thought nothing could ruin it. Then little things started to change. She started keeping her phone face down. When I'd walk in, she'd close tabs on her laptop too fast. One night, while brushing her hair, I joked, You're not having second thoughts, right? She paused, then smiled. Of course not. Why would you say that? I don't know, I said. You just seem distant lately. Work's been a nightmare, she said. Don't start reading into it, I didn't argue. Love meant trust, right? I told myself to stop overthinking. Ryan noticed, though. You okay? He asked one night while we played pool. Yeah, I said. Just stress. Emily's busy, that's all. He studied me for a moment. You sure? You look like a guy trying to convince himself everything's fine. I forced a grin. Everything is fine, he shrugged. If you say so. Just don't ignore the red flags, bro. I laughed it off, but his words stuck with me. A week later, Emily mentioned her Bachelorette trip. Miami, she said, waving the brochure. Becca and the girls planned it. Just a few days, I hesitated. Miami, huh? Sounds wild, she smirked. You don't trust me? Of course I do, I said quickly. Just be careful, okay? Ethan, she said softly, touching my cheek. You have nothing to worry about. I wanted to believe her so badly that I ignored the uneasy twist in my stomach. The morning she left, I drove her to the airport. The sun was barely up. She wore a white hoodie and messy bun, sipping coffee. You're quiet, she said. Just gonna miss you. She smiled, squeezing my hand. It's 3 days. You'll survive. I'm not sure, I said. Who's gonna remind me to eat breakfast? Ryan will, she teased. You two are basically married anyway. I laughed, even though it didn't feel funny. I love you, Em. I love you too, she said, hugging me tight. Don't worry, I'll call tonight. She kissed me once more, quick but warm. Then she disappeared into the terminal. I watched her go, still smiling, still certain nothing could ever break what we had. If I'd known what that trip would do to us, I would have never let her board that plane. The office felt normal that morning. Phones ringing, keyboards clacking, coffee machines hissing. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me open the text. You deserve to know the truth, a video followed. I clicked play. Emily, her hair tied up, eyes glassy, drunk, music pounding in the background. A guy's arm around her waist. She laughed, kissed him. Then another clip, worse, louder, darker, my stomach dropped. Ethan, you okay? My coworker Mark asked. I swallowed hard. Yeah, I just, need a minute. I locked my screen and walked straight out of the office. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Outside, the world spun slower. I leaned against my car, opened the message again, and typed, "Who are you?" The reply came fast. "I'm Jenna. I was at the trip." I can't keep this to myself. I stared at her name. Jenna, one of Emily's bridesmaids. The quiet one. "Why are you sending me this?" I texted. "Because she's pretending it never happened. You deserve to know." What happened after that video? They went back to the hotel. She laughed about it the next morning. My vision blurred. I typed stop, but she sent another message. "I'm sorry. She's not who you think she is." I threw my phone onto the passenger seat and slammed my fist against the steering wheel. The sound echoed. My throat burned. I called Emily. She didn't pick up. I called again. Straight to voicemail. "Hey, Em, it's me," I said, voice trembling. "Call me back, okay? It's important." No response. I sat there, staring through the windshield at nothing. Every second felt like a punch. By lunchtime, I still hadn't moved. I watched the videos again, hoping maybe I'd misread something, that maybe it wasn't her. But it was. The way she tilted her head when she laughed, the small tattoo on her wrist, there was no mistake. Mark called from inside. "You coming back in, man?" I'll head home," I said, starting the engine. I didn't go home. I parked in an empty grocery lot and just sat there, gripping the steering wheel so tight my hands hurt. My phone buzzed again. "Jenna, I didn't mean to hurt you, but you needed to know." "How long have you known?" I asked. "Since that night. She told us not to tell you." "She told you?" "Yeah. She said it was just a mistake, that she was drunk, but she laughed when someone asked if she regretted it." I read the message 3 times. Then I threw my phone onto the dashboard. "She laughed," I whispered. She laughed. My voice cracked. I hit the steering wheel again, then again, until the horn blared. I yelled into the empty car, "Why, Emily, why?" When my voice gave out, all I could hear was the faint hum of cars passing by. I slumped back in my seat. Hours passed. The sky dimmed. Streetlights flicked on. I still hadn't moved. Finally, I grabbed my phone and scrolled to our last conversation. She'd texted me that morning. "Miss you already. Can't wait to see you tonight." I typed a reply, then deleted it. Typed again. Deleted again. Finally, I just wrote, "I saw everything. I didn't hit send." I couldn't. Instead, I whispered it to the empty car over and over. "I saw everything. I saw everything." By the time I drove home, it was dark. I didn't turn on the lights. I just sat on the couch staring at nothing. My mind kept replaying the same 5 seconds. Her smile, his hands, her laugh. When my phone buzzed again, I jumped. Another text from Jenna. "I know you probably hate me for showing you, but please don't tell her I did. I just couldn't live with it." I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I typed, "Thank you," she replied instantly. "I'm sorry, Ethan, you didn't deserve that." I didn't respond. The apartment felt too quiet. Every sound, the fridge hum, the ticking clock, cut deeper than silence. I walked into the kitchen, poured a glass of water, and stared at my reflection in the window. My face looked different, older, colder. I whispered, "She killed something in me." It wasn't anger anymore. It was disbelief, sharp and heavy. That night, I sat in my car outside my house, engine off, watching the empty street. I replayed the videos one last time before deleting them, but even after the screen went dark, they kept playing in my mind. That was the night I learned betrayal doesn't just hurt. It burns everything it touches. When I picked Emily up from the airport, she smiled like nothing had happened. "You wouldn't believe how hot it was," she said, tossing her suitcase into the trunk. "Miami tends to be that way," I said. She laughed. "You sound grumpy. Miss me?" "Yeah," I said, forcing a smile. "Of course." In the car, she talked nonstop about beaches, drinks, the crazy cab drivers. Every word felt like a lie rehearsed. I watched her reflection in the window, the way her eyes darted when I didn't respond. "Are you okay?" she asked finally. You're quiet. Just tired. When we got home, she hugged me. I barely hugged back. I bought you something, she said, pulling out a cheap souvenir keychain. See? Proof I didn't forget you. Cute, I muttered, setting it on the counter. You're being weird, she said. What's going on? Nothing, she frowned. Ethan, don't start. I can feel it. You're mad about something. I wanted to explode right there, but I didn't. Not yet. That night after dinner, she curled up beside me on the couch. You're really not talking to me. Did I do something wrong? I looked at her phone sitting on the table. Unlock it. What? Your phone. Unlock it, her eyes narrowed. Why would I do that? I just want to see something. Ethan, that's insane. She laughed nervously. You're not that guy. I wasn't, I said quietly. But things change, she crossed her arms. This is about trust, isn't it? You're still worried about me going out with the girls. Yeah, I said. Something like that, she sighed. You have no reason to worry. We barely even went out. Just one club and I cut her off. Stop talking, her face froze. Excuse me? Stop lying, I said, standing up. I pulled my phone from my pocket, opened the video, and hit play. Her expression collapsed. She watched herself on the screen, drunk, laughing, kissing him. The color drained from her face. Her hand trembled as she reached for the phone. Where did you get this? Someone sent it to me. Who? Does it matter? She covered her mouth, shaking her head. Ethan, I was drunk. I didn't even know what I was doing. You knew exactly what you were doing. Tears welled in her eyes. It didn't mean anything. Please, you have to believe me, I laughed. Believe you? After this? It was one night, she said, crying harder. A stupid mistake. I was out of my mind. Then why did you laugh about it the next morning? Her eyes snapped up. Who told you that? Someone who was there. She backed away, voice breaking. They're lying. No, I said. You are, she started pacing. Ethan, please. I didn't mean to hurt you. I swear I love you. Love? I said, you call that love? She reached for me. I was scared, okay? I thought you'd leave if you knew how stupid I could be. I should have left a long time ago. Her sobs filled the room. Don't say that. Please don't say that. I turned away, my chest tight but empty. You cheated on me during your Bachelorette trip. There's nothing left to say. I can fix this, she said desperately. We can go to therapy. I'll do anything, I shook my head. You can't fix something you killed, she grabbed my arm. Ethan, look at me. I made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. I stared at her hand, clutching my sleeve. Yeah, mine was believing you were different. She broke down completely, falling to her knees. Please don't go. I'll never forgive myself if you walk out. I stood there, frozen. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to cry, but all I felt was nothing. Just this quiet, cold nothing. Say something, she whispered. I looked at her, tears streaking her face, and said, I don't even recognize you. Then I walked toward the door. She followed, grabbing my shirt. Please don't leave me alone tonight. Let go, Emily. I can't, she sobbed. You're all I have, I pulled free. You should have thought about that before. Her voice cracked. I love you. I swear I do. Then why wasn't I enough? She opened her mouth, but no words came out. I stepped outside and shut the door behind me. The sound echoed through the hallway like a final nail in something we once called love. I drove to Ryan's place. He opened the door, eyes widening. What happened? She cheated, I said flatly, his face twisted. You serious? Yeah, Jesus, man. Come in. I sat on his couch, staring at the blank TV. You gonna be okay? He asked quietly. I nodded once. I don't feel anything. That's shock, he said. Maybe, I murmured. Or maybe it's just what dying on the inside feels like. He didn't say anything. Neither did I. We just sat there, the silence thick enough to drown in. That night I lay awake staring at the ceiling, listening to the faint hum of the city. I didn't cry. I didn't move. I just waited for morning, wondering if I'd ever feel like myself again. Ryan poured me coffee the next morning. You sleep at all? No. You tell anyone yet? Just Lily, I said, rubbing my temples. She cried harder than I did. Yeah, she loved Emily, he muttered. You gonna tell your mom? I have to, I said. She'll find out anyway. When I called Mom, her voice was soft but heavy. Oh, Ethan, are you sure? I saw it, Mom, there's no doubt, she sighed. Maybe she was drunk, honey. People do foolish things when they... Mom, stop. Don't make excuses for her. I just don't want you to throw everything away, she said quietly. Love can survive worse. Not this, I said. Not this. When I hung up, Ryan shook his head. She'll come around. She already did. To forgiveness, he leaned forward. Don't forgive her. Make her regret it. I don't want revenge, I said. You say that now, he said, smirking. Wait till she starts begging. That afternoon, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Texts, calls, voicemails. All from Emily, please talk to me. You don't understand. We can fix this. I turned it off. For 2 days, silence was the only thing that felt sane. Then Jenna called. Ethan, I think people know, she said nervously. What do you mean? One of the bridesmaids told someone. Now it's everywhere. Emily's freaking out. I closed my eyes. Of course she is. She said she wants to explain herself, Jenna added. She already did, I said. Drunk and with someone else's mouth. Ethan, don't, I cut in. You did the right thing. Let her deal with what she started. When I showed up to work on Monday, people stared like they knew. Maybe it was in my face, the exhaustion, the emptiness. Mark stopped by my desk. You okay, man? Yeah, you sure? You've been zoning out. Just tired. Every time my phone lit up, my chest tightened. I stopped checking messages altogether. That afternoon, a knock echoed at the glass door of the office. I looked up and my stomach dropped. Emily. She was standing there, hair messy, mascara running, eyes red. Everyone turned to look. I froze. She pushed open the door. Ethan, please, I just need 5 minutes. Mark glanced at me. You want me to... No, I said quietly. It's fine, she walked up trembling. You won't answer my calls. I didn't know what else to do. You shouldn't have come here. Please, she whispered. Can we talk? Just us? There's nothing left to say. There's everything left to say, she cried. I love you. I made a mistake. I kept my voice calm. You didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. She covered her mouth. Don't say that. It's the truth. Tears spilled down her face. You think I don't hate myself for what happened? I wake up every day wishing I could undo it. You can't, I said, and I can't unknow it. Please, Ethan, just listen. I was drunk, I was stupid, and You laughed about it the next morning, I interrupted. You thought it was funny, her face crumbled. Who told you that? Does it matter? She took a shaky breath. It's not true. I swear it's not true. I turned away. You should go. I can't lose you, she said, voice breaking. You already did. She reached for my hand, but I pulled back. Emily, you shouldn't have come here. People are watching. I don't care who's watching, she said through tears. I love you. Then you should have acted like it. For a moment, she just stood there shaking. Then she whispered, You'll never forgive me, will you? No, I said. Not this time. She backed away slowly. I'm sorry, she whispered. Yeah, I said. Me too. When she left, the whole office was silent. Mark cleared his throat. Damn, man. That was rough. Yeah, I said. Guess that's the word. I went back to my desk, but I couldn't focus. The room felt smaller. I couldn't breathe. Ryan called that night. Heard she showed up? She did. Good. Let her feel it. I didn't yell, I said. Didn't even cry. Maybe you're finally numb, he said. Maybe, he chuckled. That's power, man. She lost control. It doesn't feel like power. Give it time, he said. You'll see. When we hung up, I stared at the ceiling again. Same spot, same silence. Lily called later. Mom told me Emily came to your office. She did. Good. Don't talk to her again. She deserves the silence. I know. Ethan? She said softly. Yeah? I'm proud of you. You didn't let her break you. I wanted to tell her she was wrong, that I already was broken. But instead I said, Thanks, Lil. After the call, I walked to the window and watched the streetlights flicker. I realized I wasn't just hurt anymore. Hurt was soft, dull, human. This was different. Sharp, cold, angry. That was the night I understood something I hadn't before. I wasn't just a man who got cheated on. I was a man who finally stopped believing love could save everyone, and for the first time since it happened, I didn't feel like crying. I felt like fighting. Ryan leaned over the counter, his phone lighting up between us.
You know what you should do?
Post it. Post what? I asked. The video, he said. People deserve to know who she really is. I stared at my coffee. That's not me, he smirked. Maybe it should be. She didn't care about you when she was out there kissing some random guy. Why protect her now? I'm not protecting her. You just what? He interrupted. Still love her? I didn't answer. He sighed. Ethan, stop pretending you're the good guy. She humiliated you. Everyone's whispering already. Own the story before she does. I rubbed my jaw. You think that'll make me feel better? It'll make you free, he said. Trust me. That night I sat at my desk with the videos open. My finger hovered over the upload button. The anger in me screamed louder than my conscience. I clicked post. By morning, the notifications wouldn't stop. Hundreds of comments, shares, messages, people from work. Old friends, strangers. Ryan called first. You did it? Yeah, he laughed. Finally, man.
You should see the comments.
Everyone's on your side. I opened my feed. Poor guy. She deserves it. What a snake. Emily's name was trending in our small town. A mix of pity and outrage filled my screen. A message came through. Lily. Ethan, what did you do? I typed, the truth, she replied instantly. You didn't have to humiliate her. She humiliated herself, I sent back. Mom called next. Ethan, please take it down. This isn't who you are. I didn't start this, Mom, but you're making it worse. You think this helps you heal? It helps me breathe, I said flatly. She sighed. No, it just keeps you angry. When we hung up, I scrolled again. Someone had tagged Emily's company. Hours later, her profile disappeared. Ryan texted, Dude, she's suspended. You did it. I stared at the screen, waiting for that rush of satisfaction. But it never came. Just an ache. That evening, Ryan showed up with beers. Victory drinks, he said, grinning. I didn't touch mine. This doesn't feel like winning, he laughed. You're overthinking it. She got what she deserved. I looked at him. And what did I deserve? He frowned. What? Being lied to? Cheated on? Dragged into a mess I didn't ask for? He leaned back. Don't get philosophical on me. You did what needed to be done, did I? I asked. Because I don't feel better. Maybe that's guilt, he said. You're not used to standing up for yourself. I stared at him. You sound like you enjoyed this. He smiled faintly. Maybe I did. Something in his tone made me pause. What's that supposed to mean? He shrugged. Nothing. No, say it, I pressed. He hesitated. You really want the truth? I've had enough lies for a lifetime, he exhaled slowly. Fine, I used to like her. Years ago. Before you two ever dated. I blinked. What? Yeah, he said, chuckling without humor. I asked her out once. She turned me down. I stared at him, stunned. You never told me that. Didn't seem relevant, he said. Until now. So all this. I gestured to the laptop, the videos, the chaos. You pushed me into it because you wanted to watch her fall? He didn't answer right away. Then, maybe part of me wanted payback. I stood up. You used me. Don't be dramatic, he said. I helped you take control. No, I said quietly. You helped yourself, he scoffed. You think you're the only one she hurt? She made me feel like I was invisible. I just wanted her to feel that for once. I felt sick. So this wasn't about me healing, it was about you settling some old score. He didn't deny it. You know what's funny? I said, my voice shaking. I thought betrayal had a limit. Turns out it's contagious. He slammed his beer down. Don't make me the villain here. She cheated on you. I didn't. Yeah, but you played me, I said. You made me believe revenge would help. You're acting like you didn't want this. I wanted peace, I said. You wanted destruction. He glared at me. You're welcome for giving you closure. Closure? I laughed bitterly. I feel emptier than before. He stood. You'll thank me later. I shook my head. No, I'll remember you later. He left without another word. The door slammed hard enough to rattle the frame. I sat there alone, the glow of my phone lighting the table. More messages, more noise, Emily's latest post. To everyone who saw that video, I'm not perfect, but I didn't deserve to be destroyed this way. The comments tore her apart. I watched them scroll by until the words blurred. That's when it hit me. This wasn't justice. It was cruelty dressed as closure, and I'd become exactly what I hated, someone who turned pain into punishment. The screen dimmed, and for the first time since the video, I shut my phone off completely. The silence was deafening. But beneath it, I heard something I hadn't in days. Regret. I was scrolling through my phone when I saw it. Ryan's name in a text thread with Emily. "You okay?" "Just checking on you," my stomach twisted. Another message followed. "You don't deserve how people are treating you." I stared at the screen until my hands started shaking. When I confronted him, he didn't even flinch. "She's going through hell, man. I'm just making sure she's okay. Are you serious?" I asked. He shrugged. "Someone has to. You cut her off." "That someone doesn't have to be you," I snapped. "You told me to post the video. Now you're comforting her?" He raised an eyebrow. "You're mad because I have empathy?" "I'm mad because you're pretending you care." "You wanted this," he sighed. "You're acting like I'm the villain again. Maybe I feel guilty for pushing you too far." "Guilty?" I laughed bitterly. "You don't feel guilty, you feel exposed." "Think what you want," he said. "But she's still a person. She made a mistake. Don't you dare defend her to me." He crossed his arms. "You sound obsessed." "Maybe because my best friend and my fiancé both lied to me." He shook his head. "I didn't lie. Then what's this?" I held up my phone. "You texting her like you're her savior?" "She needed someone to talk to." "Yeah," I said coldly. "And you needed someone to feel superior to." He rolled his eyes. "I'm done with this. You're twisting everything." "No," I said quietly. "You're showing me who you really are." That was the last conversation we had. The next day, I deleted both their numbers. The silence that followed felt like pulling a knife out of my own chest. Lily came over that weekend. She brought food and sat on my couch without saying much. Eventually, she looked at me and said, "You look like you haven't slept in days." "I haven't," I said. "Every time I close my eyes, I see them." She nodded slowly. "You need to stop feeding the fire, Ethan." "I'm not," I said. "I cut them off." "But you're still letting them live rent-free in your head," she said softly. "Sometimes revenge doesn't destroy them. It destroys you." Her words hit harder than I expected. "I thought exposing her would set me free," I said. "But now I just feel hollow." "That's because you're still tied to it," Lily said. "You're waiting for something, an apology, a reason, something that'll make the pain make sense." But it won't. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. "What am I supposed to do then?" "Start over," she said. "Not for her, for you." The next morning, I canceled all my weekend plans and went to the gym for the first time in months. The music was loud enough to drown my thoughts. Every punch into the bag felt like a small release, anger leaving my body one swing at a time. Afterward, I sat in the locker room, breathing hard, staring at the floor. For the first time, I didn't feel rage, just exhaustion. Work became my escape. I stayed late, avoided small talk, and buried myself in projects. People whispered, but I didn't care. Therapy came next. Sitting across from a stranger, I finally said the words out loud. She cheated on me. My best friend betrayed me. I don't even know who I am anymore. The therapist nodded. That's a lot of pain to carry. But pain isn't permanent. You'll outgrow it. I'm not sure I want to, I admitted. It's the only thing keeping me going. That's not strength, she said gently. That's survival. Strength comes after. Her words stayed with me. At night, I'd still dream about Emily. In some dreams, she apologized, crying in my arms. I forgave her, told her we'd start over. In others, I turned my back and walked away without looking back. Every morning, I woke up unsure which version of me I wanted to be, the one who forgave or the one who never did. One night, I dreamt of her standing on a beach calling my name. I walked toward her, but the closer I got, the farther she drifted. When I woke up, my pillow was wet. I wasn't sure if I'd been crying or sweating. Lily called that morning. You sound different, she said. Maybe I'm tired of being angry, I told her. That's a good start, she said softly. Anger burns fast. Healing takes time, I didn't reply. I just sat there, listening to her voice. For once, I didn't feel the urge to check my phone for messages that weren't coming. The silence didn't scare me anymore. It almost felt like peace trying to find its way back in. It had been months since I last heard her name. Then one night my phone buzzed. Jenna. Hey, I thought you should know. She's not doing well. I hesitated before typing back. Emily? Yeah, she's in therapy now. Lost her job. Moved out of her apartment. Ryan's not around anymore either. I stared at the screen. Ryan left her? He used her, she wrote. Played the hero, got sympathy, then vanished. Karma, I thought. Quiet and cruel, I called Jenna. Why are you telling me this? She sounded tired. Because you deserve to know. She's paying for what she did, Ethan. I leaned against the counter. You think that makes it better? I don't know, she said softly, but I figured it might give you peace. Peace doesn't come from watching someone fall, I said. There was silence on the line. Then she whispered, she asks about you sometimes. What does she want from me? She says she hopes you're okay. That she'd take it back if she could. I closed my eyes. It doesn't matter anymore. She knows that, Jenna said. But I think she just wants to be forgiven. Forgiveness isn't something you ask for through someone else. Maybe not, she said quietly. But it's all she has left. When the call ended, I just stood there, staring at the dark window. The reflection looked like someone I barely recognized, older, quieter, emptier. I grabbed my keys and drove. No destination in mind, just miles of road and silence. Eventually, I found myself near the ocean, our old spot. The wind hit my face as soon as I stepped out. The smell of salt, the hum of waves, it was the same as before, but I wasn't. I sat on the cold sand, listening. For a long time, I didn't think, didn't speak. Just breathed. My phone buzzed again. Lily this time. Where are you? She asked. By the ocean? At midnight? I couldn't sleep, she paused. Thinking about her again? Yeah, I admitted. You heard about what happened? Jenna told me, Lily sighed. You're not planning to reach out, are you? No, I said. That part of me's gone. Good, she said softly. She already took too much. I know. Then why do you still sound sad? I watched the waves roll in and out. Because even when karma comes, nobody wins. She was quiet for a moment. You sound different. Maybe I finally stopped trying to feel better through someone else's pain. That's growth, she said. I smiled faintly. Or exhaustion, she chuckled. Either way, I'm proud of you. Thanks, I said. You were right about revenge. I usually am. When we hung up, I sat there till the sky started to lighten. The horizon turned gold, and the waves looked softer under the morning light. I thought about Emily's laugh, her eyes, the way she used to hold my hand. Then I thought about the videos, the lies, the silence afterward. All of it felt like a story from another life. I whispered to the ocean, I hope she finds peace. The words surprised me. I meant them. I took a deep breath and felt something shift inside me, something small but real. For months, I'd carried anger like armor. It had kept me alive but also trapped me. Sitting there, I realized I didn't need it anymore. Ryan was gone. Emily was gone. The noise had finally faded. All that remained was me. Just me, breathing, existing, trying to start again. As the sun climbed higher, the world looked different. Brighter. Quieter. I stood up, brushing sand from my hands. The ocean roared behind me, but I didn't turn back. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel broken, just human. I walked toward my car, the sunrise following me. And somewhere between the waves and the road ahead, I realized the truth I'd been avoiding all along. Revenge doesn't heal pain. It only spreads it. I didn't want to be the man who lived in someone else's shadow anymore. I wanted to be free. Was scrolling through my inbox when a subject line caught my eye. I'm sorry, Emily. I stared at the sender, heart tightening for a moment before I forced myself to breathe. I clicked it open. Ethan, I don't deserve your forgiveness. I know that. But I wanted to reach out. I'm trying to change. I've been lost, using attention and affection to fill emptiness I never faced. I read it again. Slowly. Her words hit different this time. Not raw and chaotic like before, but quiet, reflective. I muttered to myself, You're finally human. I don't expect you to respond. I just needed you to know the truth and that I'm trying to be better. I laughed softly. Better? You think this makes you better? Then I typed a response, deleted it, typed again. Words felt heavy, unnecessary. I called Ryan. You won't believe what just landed in my inbox. He chuckled. Let me guess, her crying over her own mistakes? Something like that, I said, staring at the screen. She actually admitted she was wrong. That's surprising, Ryan said. You gonna reply? I shook my head. Not yet. I've hurt people I care about, especially you. I don't know how to fix it, but I'm trying. I'm sorry for everything. I read it a third time. Each word felt like a weight I'd been carrying, lifting slowly. I typed into a blank reply box. I hope you heal. I stopped. That was it. Short, simple, true. Ryan whistled softly. Wow, that's concise. Better that way, I said. I don't need a confession. I don't need closure. I just need it to be done. Thank you, I imagined her saying. I didn't hit send yet. I read the email again. Her honesty was raw, unpolished. Vulnerable in a way I hadn't seen before. But I realized something important. I no longer needed to be a part of her journey. Ryan, I said, I think I'm finally free. He raised an eyebrow. Free? Yeah, I said. Free from caring whether she's broken or fixed. Free from letting her define me, he nodded. That's good. I hit send with my single line. I hope you heal. After that, I deleted her number. I watched the screen clear, feeling lighter than I had in months. Mom called the next morning. Did you hear from her? Yes, I said. And it's over. Finally, she laughed softly. I knew you'd find peace eventually. It's not peace because of her, I said. It's peace because I stopped giving her control over me. Lily texted. Did you reply? Yes, what did you say? I hope you heal. She sent a string of emojis, smiling faces. Good. I'm proud of you. For the first time in months, I didn't feel a twist in my chest when her name appeared in my notifications. No anger, no longing, just quiet. I thought about all the nights I spent replaying the betrayal, wondering if I'd ever feel normal again. All the hours of rage, therapy, and guilt, it had brought me here, sitting on my couch with my phone off, breathing, alive. I glanced at the ocean outside my window, the morning light reflecting faintly on the water. It reminded me of the place where I'd sat months ago, watching the waves, realizing revenge doesn't heal. I whispered to the empty room. Finally. No one answered. No one needed to. I didn't feel satisfaction or joy or even victory. I just felt unburdened. I thought about the old me who had wanted answers, confessions, even pain as punishment. That man was gone. Now I could move forward without dragging the past along. I poured myself a coffee and sat at the kitchen table. My phone lay face down, silent. The sunlight hit the counter warm and steady. I didn't need another message from her. I didn't need another word from anyone about her. All that mattered was me, my life, my choices, and the small, quiet victories of simply surviving, I whispered again softly, almost to myself. I hope you heal. Not because she deserved it, not because I needed closure, but because I had finally stopped caring enough to carry her pain with me. And just like that, it was over. I stood, stretched, and walked toward the window, watching the world go on outside. I felt like I was stepping into something new, free from old shadows, free from lies, free from everyone who had hurt me. The morning was mine. The email, the apology, the past, all of it, gone from my mind. And for the first time in a long time, I smiled. I never thought I'd leave. The house I'd spent years fixing, the office that felt like a second skin, they were gone. I signed the papers, handed over the keys, and for the first time, the place that had held my heartbreak felt lighter. Ryan called that night. You actually did it. You left town. I did, I said. Seattle, huh? Why there? Change of scenery. Needed it. Don't tell me you're running away. I'm not running. I'm walking forward, he laughed. Fine, just promise me you'll actually live this time. I plan to, I said. The flight was quiet. I stared out the window, watching the clouds move like thoughts I couldn't shake for months. Every time I thought about Emily, I felt neither rage nor longing, Memory, like an old scar that didn't hurt anymore. When I arrived, I rented a small apartment with a view of the Sound. Minimal furniture, a blank canvas for my new life. The first few weeks were awkward. I didn't know anyone. I didn't want to know anyone yet. I wandered through Pike Place Market, cafes, galleries, just observing, taking it all in without touching it. Then I met Hannah. She was sketching on a bench near the waterfront. Charcoal smudges on her fingers, hair in a messy bun. I sat nearby, pretending to read, but I kept glancing at her drawings, waves, buildings, small scenes full of life. She noticed. "You like it?" I smiled faintly. "Yeah, you capture things I don't see." She looked at me, studying me with quiet eyes. "Then maybe you're looking at the wrong things." "I've been looking at the wrong people," I muttered. She laughed softly. "Maybe, or maybe you're just learning." Over the next few weeks, we ran into each other often. Sometimes she'd invite me to watch her paint. Sometimes we'd sit and drink coffee in silence. No pressure, no questions, just presence. One night I asked her, "Do you ever wonder why people hurt each other?" She shrugged. "All the time. But I don't dwell. I focus on the pieces that are worth keeping." "That's hard," I said. "Not if you decide what's worth keeping," she said. I thought about that a lot. About rage, revenge, heartbreak. About Ryan and Emily and the videos, the lies, the silence. For the first time, I realized that holding on to the damage didn't make me stronger. It just weighed me down. "I've been carrying a lot," I said one evening as we walked along the pier. "More than I should have," she glanced at me. "You can put it down." "I don't even know where to start," I admitted. "Start anywhere. Start with yourself." Her words hit me harder than any confrontation ever had. The months passed. I found work as a freelance designer. Flexible hours, freedom to explore, freedom from memories that still lingered in the corners of my mind. Hannah and I grew closer, slowly. She never asked about Emily. She didn't need to. She only saw me now. The man I was. The man I was becoming. One evening, sitting on her porch with the sun dipping behind the Sound, I asked, "Do you ever think about the past?" She shook her head. "Only if it teaches me something. Otherwise, I leave it behind," I smiled faintly. "I think I'm learning to do that too." Sometimes I still thought about Emily. Not with hate, not with love, just memory. I remembered the smell of her hair, the laugh that used to make everything lighter, the way she broke me completely before I could even understand it. One day, I ran into Ryan's name in an online article. He'd moved on too, somewhere across the country. I didn't feel anger or curiosity. I felt neutral, like watching someone else's story unfold from a distance. Hannah caught me staring at my phone. "Thinking about old ghosts?" "Maybe," I said. "But they don't scare me anymore." She reached out, holding my hand. "Good, they never will again." We walked down the waterfront as the sun painted everything gold. I realized I hadn't felt this light in years, not since before everything fell apart, not since revenge, not since betrayal. The old me would have wondered if he deserved happiness. The new me didn't need permission. One evening I stood by the water alone, thinking about everything. The lies, the videos, the emails, the nights of anger, the weeks of emptiness. I whispered to myself, "You broke me, Emily. You really did." But I didn't linger in the anger. I let it go into the wind, watching it scatter across the waves. I smiled faintly, closing my eyes. "But in the end," the wind carried my words away, "you built the man I was always meant to be." I opened my eyes. The sky was streaked with pink and orange, calm and endless. I felt light, finally unshackled. Hannah's voice came softly from behind me. "Hey, you okay?" I turned and nodded, smiling. "Better than okay." She smiled back, quiet and steady. I took her hand, feeling warmth and certainty for the first time in a long time. The past wasn't gone, but it didn't matter. The mistakes, the lies, the heartbreak, they were pieces of a puzzle I'd spent years assembling without realizing it. I leaned back, letting the cool breeze brush my face. "We're here," I said softly. Hannah squeezed my hand. "We are," I laughed quietly, "and it feels like the first time I've actually lived." I looked at the water stretching endlessly before me, knowing I would never forget. but I also knew I would never be controlled by it again. The city lights blinked behind us. New beginnings, quiet streets, and the sound of waves mixing with our laughter. I breathed deeply. The scars were still there, but they didn't hurt. They reminded me of everything I'd survived and everything I could still become, and for the first time in years, I felt whole. She broke me, but in the end, she built the man I was always meant to be.